Before you waste your time and materials, let me tell you the Cricut projects you should not be selling, because I learned the hard way, so you don't have to. Now this list isn't here to scare you. It's to help you sell smarter. I study hundreds, if not thousands, of craft business owners, and that means knowing a thing or two about the kind of products that don't sell based on these 4 important factors. Number 1, common mistakes. Number 2, low profitability. Number 3, legal risk. And number 4, customer confusion. And don't worry, I'm gonna explain how each one falls under one of these factors. So let's get started. As always, I've added timestamps so you could easily jump to any section of this video. Let's start with the first Cricut project you should not sell, because while it's super popular, it can seriously hurt your sales if it's done incorrectly. I'm talking about dishware or apparel with vinyl that peels. If you're a crafter, I think we've all been guilty of this moment where you heat press a t-shirt and you didn't do it right, or something happens and the vinyl is falling off, or you applied vinyl to a mug and then you washed it and one of the letters fell off. I've been guilty of this and it happens. But as a business owner, this should not be happening. Take mugs, for example. They're cute, customizable, and seem like an easy bestseller. But here's the problem. Unless you are using UV DTF wraps or sublimation or even infusible ink, that adhesive vinyl is going to peel, because even permanent vinyl isn't meant to withstand heat and water long term. And yes, I know you might have made an adorable, thoughtful care instructions card that specifically states, please do not throw this in the dishwasher, only hand wash. But let's be honest, most customers are still going to toss it in the dishwasher. Some won't even read the care card. Others will throw it away, and honestly, many customers just don't follow instructions. The result? Faded or peeling designs, unhappy customers, and bad reviews, which we don't want any of that as a craft business owner. It's just not worth the risk. The same applies to HTV in apparel. I'm not saying you can't use HTV, but if it's not applied correctly, it will not last. And here's what a lot of people don't know. Vinyl expires. Yep. Did you know that? I didn't know that in the beginning. So if you've had your vinyl sitting in your craft room for a long period of time, maybe it was stored in a humid, hot room, or you switched brands thinking that it gets applied the same exact way as a different brand, all of those things affect how well the vinyl actually sticks to the apparel. Incorrect pressure, wrong temperature, or old vinyl can lead to cracking, peeling, or lifting. So bottom line, if you're selling items that are going to be used often or washed, please make sure that your method and your materials are built to last. The next Cricut project that you probably shouldn't sell, and this might be a little controversial, I'm sorry, it's t-shirts with overused quotes. You've definitely seen these everywhere. Mama t-shirts. But first, coffee. These types of shirts are crazy popular, which might make you think that they will be easy to sell. But here's the catch. The market is completely oversaturated with these kind of t-shirts. And again, I'm not saying that you can't sell these kind of t-shirts with these sayings, but what I'm saying is you're now stepping into saturated territory, meaning that you must be doing your research, a lot of research beforehand, and see how you can stand out from the rest. Maybe you offer a different material with this kind of saying, or a different font combo, design. This is why research is so important when starting a craft business. Another thing to consider is that customers are really getting used to seeing these exact phrases or shirts for $5 at places like Walmart or Shein, which makes it harder for the craft business owners like us to justify a $20 or $30 price tag, no matter how much time or care you put into the design. Now again, there's always going to be people that are willing to support your business, and those are your people and your customers. But if you're going to sell t-shirts or any products for that matter, try and skip the generic quotes and focus on the original niche-friendly products that speak to your ideal customer. And start with putting yourself in your customer's shoes first, seeing what products they would actually want to purchase. For number 3, let's talk about a product that is visually stunning, but an absolute nightmare to produce. They are intricate designs, especially ones that involve heavy layering or detailed weeding. You've all seen those beautiful designs. Think those mandala designs, the multi-layered quotes, layers, or super fine line SVGs. These projects look beautiful as digital files or for personal gifts, because you're gonna wanna put in that time for your friends and family. But when it comes to selling them in bulk, they can become a time-sucking trap. Here's why. Intricate designs are incredibly tedious to weed. Then comes the layering. Lining up 5 or 6 colors perfectly, it's stressful, time-consuming, and leaves zero room for error. And what's even worse is that these kind of products are kind of more difficult to price for profit, because if it takes you 30 plus minutes just to weed the design, that doesn't include you heat pressing it, you applying it onto your product, designing it, and if you can't sell this product, it's not a profitable product. It is a burnout project, because the cost and time will leave you with no choice but to increase the price. And again, as a disclaimer, I'm not saying that you can't sell these kind of designs altogether. What I'm trying to say is, remember in the beginning, I said think smarter, not harder. So if you're trying to sell them at scale, consider using a more efficient method like DTF transfers. I use my Cricut for a majority of my products in my small business, but when it comes to my tote bags, man, I have no shame in using DTF transfers for them, because a lot of the designs are really intricate, and you know how easy and less time consuming it is? DTF transfers cut out all of that work, and you get the full color and detail with none of the weeding or layering headaches. Plus, the quality, in my opinion, is much more durable and long lasting than HTV. And if you don't believe me, take a look at this recipe tea towel project. The difference between the time it took and plus the quality is night and day. The fourth Cricut project that you should not sell is cutting boards with vinyl. Before you attack me, please hear me out. You've probably seen these all over Cricut Facebook groups or even Pinterest, and they look beautiful. I even made a tutorial on this years ago, but here's why I don't recommend selling them. While they are beautiful as decorative pieces, most people see a cutting board and they assume, oh great, I can use this in my kitchen, like for chopping vegetables or for serving food. But if you're using adhesive vinyl on these, it's not food safe and definitely not durable enough for actual kitchen use. Even if you label it for decorative use only, customers don't read. They do not read the fine print. Or worse, they see it and then they ignore it. Do you see a pattern here? Because you'd be surprised at how many people take these to dinner parties or gift them thinking that they're functional, only to find the vinyl peeling right after the rinse. And let's be real, if a product looks like it belongs in the kitchen, customers will expect it to hold up in the kitchen. When it doesn't, that leads to confusion, disappointment, and returns, which we do not want. So if you love making kitchen decor, try engraving or even wood burning, because those are built to last and won't confuse your buyers. And the last Cricut project that you should not sell, we're gonna talk about something that I see way too often: trademarked designs. I know it's tempting to sell those designs with NFL team logos, Cocomelon, Bluey, Paw Patrol, right, for kids, or even Harry Potter fonts. They're recognizable, popular, and they do get a lot of attention. But here's the truth: you cannot legally sell them without a license. Even if you drew the picture of Harry Potter or Cocomelon yourself, or bought the SVG off of Etsy that said it was for commercial use, if the design includes copyrighted or trademarked content, it's a no-go for commercial use, because you do not own this design and this trademark. That includes names, quotes, logos, and even certain colors or shapes associated with the brand. So what does that mean for you as a craft business owner? Well, you risk having your shop shut down, receiving cease and desist letters, or worse, facing legal action, which costs a lot of money. And Etsy, Shopify, or even payment platforms like PayPal can freeze your account if it gets flagged. And just because other shops are selling these items does not give you the right to sell them too. Would you be swimming with the sharks if your friend did it too? I don't think so. So while it may seem like a quick, easy way to make money, it's just not worth the risk. Instead, focus on creating original designs that speak to your target customer without having to break the law, because that's what builds a brand, not borrowed ideas. If you're turning your Cricut hobby into a business, you have to be strategic. But there's nothing wrong with making any of these for personal projects or for gifts. So I want to hear from you, and let me know in the comments which products you regret selling, or if I missed any. And if you want help choosing products that actually sell, you can check out my video on 10 easy Cricut projects to sell. I also have a 200 plus product ideas guide that has helped so many of you already, so be sure to check those out in the video description. But thank you for watching today's video. I hope you have a very crafty day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
This is love if I'm making you breakfast. This is love if I feel myself coming down and you're not around. This is love if I think I've gone crazy.